coconut. 3, 2, 1. Warning. This podcast is being recorded, but it's also got adult language. Sometimes listener discretion is advised. Bum, bum, bum. If you're looking for a podcast that's recorded properly and sent to you through your ears,
I'm going with what I originally said, not like we're doing this for the second time in a row. If you're looking for warp speed dating tips,
good one. I've never heard that before. If you're looking to know where I got my giant thing of water from or where the doorway to Narnia is,
or if you're a Borg looking for fashion advice,
this, you know what, it could be, but it's probably not the podcast for you.
It's unlikely to meet your demands and expectations.
That's correct, Haley. And I'm Sara. And this is the newest episode of Rewind that's being recorded properly. Hit it. Am I rushing or dragging? Am I rushing or dragging?
Can it be both?
I rewatched just the final performance scene from Whiplash earlier today because it's a pick-me-up. If I ever need to see, if I'm ever having a day where I'm just like, I got 3 minutes to kill because I'm waiting for something, or I'm like, my go-to is either that or it's the bloopers specifically from the episode of The Office with the dinner party.
Oh,
the thing about surround sound, Jim over here, he can't even get through it. It's so good.
That's amazing.
Oh my God.
I love that. Also, it makes me, that movie Whiplash reminds me of band and like being in band, and like I love band.
I love band so much that I want to be in a band again, and therefore have brought out my flute from the closet. And I am waiting for Amazon to deliver sheet music, which is the music from the Harry Potter movies.
Oh my God.
I still have all my original books, and I would like to start playing again. I have been in a place right now where I can't start shit because I've been in such a bad place mentally because of work that I joined that Biggest Loser challenge again. I put my $50 down, and I have progressively eaten worser food by the day, drank less water than I've ever had before, and not moved a muscle. I'm starting this week, and I will start playing the flute again this week. There we go. Plans are set.
You got it.
I got it. I'm going to be the first person to run the Boston Marathon while playing the flute.
I don't know if you'll be the first, but
damn it,
you'll be the first Canadian, maybe. What I would suggest to you also, if you haven't done this before, now that we're in the future, you could probably play your flute along with like full-on orchestra stuff on YouTube and stuff.
I will look for that. That is a great idea because I had one of those books that came with the CD.
Yes,
I have no way of playing a CD anymore. So that would be divine. I bet there's even apps or things you could pay like for $5 a month, like you would any kind of subscription service where you would be able to find. Because I love playing with an accompaniment. The one I had was Bach, something Bach, and it was a bunch of movements, and it had the music, and it was wonderful.
It's like Madonna.
I'll be Bach.
I don't want to like get us ahead of ourselves here, but like I also enjoy Bach, and I also am trying to like get back into piano. So are we thinking like a rewind duet at some point?
I think this is how we segue into becoming people who are then helping to compose the next Star Trek epic opening theme. It's Starfleet Academy.
I don't think Starfleet Academy has its own theme song, and I think that we should probably create it.
The writers haven't even had a chance to work on it because of the strike. So if they're going back to work pretty soon, let's say, hey, you guys are just starting. We're just starting. All we need is like a drum line kind of guy, like a high school band. I'm picturing like Starfleet NFL type. This is going to be huge. This is it.
This is what we've been waiting for. Patent pending. I feel like I just need to say that.
I don't know what it means, but patent Oswald pending.
It protects the idea.
It does. Yeah, no one ever has thought about being music composers.
No.
It's our
And
idea.
also like what I love about like the latest season of Picard is that they leaned really heavily on the TNG theme.
Mm.
And so I was like, this is just like straight up from TNG. They just like lifted it. This wasn't even difficult. Well, I mean, I'm not a music composer, so I don't know. I don't know if you
um,
know this about me. I'm not a music composer.
to me, you know how there's always like things that people are like, I am so impressed with that ability. Like for some people, it's like, I can't believe there's people out there who have brains that can do the math that would put people on the moon. I can't believe that people could be so brave that they could go and fight fires.
Yeah,
My brain cannot conceive of how you compose an orchestra. You're writing music for all the instruments at
yeah,
different levels and sounds and tones and blending them together and bleeding them together. It's like the spatial part of a IQ test where I'm just like my brain is broken, and so I hold such a high regard to people like John Williams. When I
oh,
listen to the
John Williams
music,
is
I'm just
like,
like, did you hear? Like even like rock and roll bands, like Electric Light Orchestra, that have like background of like violins and strings, and I'm just like, oh my god, did you hear that symphony? Like it's how do you do that? I
how
can't.
do you do that?
I can't.
No, I
That
know.
and photographs. How do you do that? How are we
One,
talking and hearing each other and we're not in the same
I
room?
don't know.
I
Like, you
don't
know
get
what?
it.
I don't get it either. So about the music composer thing, totally agree with you. And this one time I remember I was like early 20s, like late teens, like on the computer trying to like compose a song. And I had finally figured something out and it was like the most beautiful song. And I was like, this is it. This is going to be it. It was just a Backstreet Boys song that I already knew. I'm like, wait a second, this is just incomplete by the Backstreet Boys. Um,
Yeah, I was in
that
musical competition.
Yes, same,
I
same.
took
So was
music comp
I.
in high school because
Yeah.
Mr. Campbell,
Hmm. Rip.
R.I.P.
Oh.
Oh, and I like the other girls that were in it. They were good. They were like kind of like getting a little melody here and there. I was in my Jack Nicholson phase, and I was really into
Sunglasses inside.
Kubrick films. So my music composition was called Jack's Theme, and it was all like weird sound effects and like sounds kind of like the music from the soundtrack from The Shining.
That's actually really cool.
Or the soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks in my opinion, is the soundtrack to A Clockwork Orange. And it's all really
Creepy.
weird, creepy, like
Like the soundtrack or the score?
the soundtrack is good because it's almost all classical anyways,
Yeah,
except
that's
for
true.
I'm singing in the rain. But yeah.
Um, it's so funny because I was thinking of the soundtrack to the A Clockwork Orange while I was like in this shower. I don't know why. And then I thought, man, Mary Steenburgen or whatever her name
Oh
was
yeah.
married to Malcolm McDowell during that time, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, what a weird
I can't watch that movie.
movie. I had to watch that movie in criminology class, the one with the teacher that I loved.
Oh,
Anyway, ugh, now
oh.
he's not allowed to teach anymore because he ran off with that student.
God damn it.
I was a year too young. Well, by the books
You know the
anyway.
rest.
Speaking of illegal things, countdown to jury duty's on
Tell
for
me
me.
more. I've never I
So
want an update. I need an update.
yeah, you haven't heard this before, not even an
My
hour
memory is
ago.
shot anyway, so you know
Doesn't
what?
matter. This is all brand new to me
Either I
too.
wasn't listening or I already forgot. So
It's all good.
here's a glimpse of what Brad has to deal with on a daily basis. So I don't remember. What?
Doesn't matter. Here's what's going on. It's countdown. October 6th, 9 a.m. I have
Love
to
it.
report to jury duty at the Supreme Court of BC. It is like legit around the corner from where I live, so I don't need to park anywhere, which is good because they say don't park in short-term parking because you can't leave as soon as you get there. You have to stay until they dismiss you or like you're selected and they dismiss you.
It's like after going through
Anyway,
TSA.
right? Even if you have pre-check like I do. Do you have Nexus?
Yeah,
You should get it. Oh, okay. Of course you do. God. Um,
of course I
what a
do.
stupid ass question.
Right?
So anyway, I'm trying to figure out what to wear because I have to be like approachable. Like I have to also
Yeah.
represent, like it's a jury of our peers. It's not some like also I have to like work on my resting bitch face because it's like I don't want to be super angry looking, but I
You
don't
need
want to
to
be
be
super
sexy,
excited.
but not too sexy. You need to be smart, but not too smart. You need to be interested, but not too interested.
So
It's a dangerous
how
line.
how do I do this? Like I was thinking, do I take an Ativan beforehand just so it like glosses me over a little bit or what? Anyway, it's all gonna
Really
be
nice
black that
outfit,
I'm
but a little
wearing.
stain on the shirt somewhere. So it's like, oh well, life
A little
happens.
stain, or may I suggest one of my Star Trek pins?
Yeah. Full uniform.
In the future, this kind of shit doesn't happen. Could you
Yeah.
imagine?
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Smith.
I got 12 Tide pens in my purse. Does anybody want one?
I should carry a Tide pin.
Actually, so should I. Pretty
Yeah.
bad. Anything I buy white.
Um, Ayo. Yeah. So anyway, so that's happening. It's every day I log in to make sure that I'm like required to report because many people who have gotten summoned for jury duty have it like the trials canceled right before they have to report, and I do
Yeah.
not want that to happen. So, that's what's going on with me. There's literally nothing else happening that is this important, except for there's a specific kind of apple that's in stores now, but not all the stores, just the market stores, like the market at Millstream has it
Yeah.
by you, market on Yates by me. They're called Liberty apples. They're like, I don't know what kind of apple you like. Red Delicious, I'm guessing. Just kidding. What? You're not a
Barf.
psycho. Yeah,
God,
right?
what? It's like a bag of sand.
What?
I like an ambrosia.
Okay, ambrosia's good. So like it's a little more tart than an ambrosia, but like the texture is like so good. And I say that because I can't taste or smell still. Um, it's like so good. The skin is perfect. It's like a Granny Smith coupled with like a Mac, but
Okay.
like better.
Yeah. And are these fancy apples like $5 an apple or what?
They are $3.99 a pound right now, so yeah, kinda, but
Yeah.
like worth
But
it.
every apple is expensive.
Everything is expensive right now, dude. What is going on? I even went to do
Mhm.
like a little Costco order because I was like, well, whatever, I'm out of a couple things. And even the Costco prices on things are like way more expensive. What's
Yeah.
up?
End of days, man. This
I
is it.
know. Well, at least, and this is just true for me, I'm not in my like terrible cycle of purchasing charmed aroma bath bombs in hopes to
Fuck
like
you.
make my money back by
Uh,
finding the $5,000 ring. I mean, when I first started getting those, I was like, holy shit, this ring's valued at like $110. That's amazing. No, it's not. Anyway, aren't you glad that we don't buy charmed aroma things anymore?
I still do. I just did. I don't buy it during the summer because I don't have baths in the summer. So I bought my Halloween bath bombs. There's the bath bomb was a Ouija board theme, and then there's my necklace that showed up, and it's the Ouija board thing, the
Oh, you know
planchette.
what? That's actually really cool.
It's like for
Oh
Halloween
no.
jewelry.
I'm gonna check the website. Harmed aroma.
For offensive smells. This is a dictionary of offensive smells. That's awesome. I'm so excited for you. I really hope you get jury duty because I think that if you don't get it, it's going to be a nightmare, and I'm
Well,
never
we
going to
need
hear the end of
it,
it.
it.
So
It'll be a nightmare for everyone. I know John's worried. He's like,
I
"What's
know
going to happen if she's not picked?"
you're just
But
delusionally showing up every day with like muffins for everyone. I'm
hey,
here.
guys,
I'm here
just
to judge.
checking it. I'm here to judge.
You're dressed as a judge.
Why are you on trial if you're not guilty? That's what I'm going to say when I first get in there.
Right? Oh my God.
How
I
are
love it.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to go to Toronto in a couple of days. I've never been, and I can't wait to just see it and see some museums and eat some good food and go to Niagara Falls for the night. I think it should be really fun. I went to Seattle and that was fun, and that was for football. The Seahawks lost and it was painful, but they have since won their last two games, so I still love them.
Yay!
And I started adult pickleball classes. I've had one so far because it got canceled last week because the instructor was sick, and I am obsessed. I love it. This is my fall winter sport. It is fun, it's fast, it's sassy, it's cute. I love it to boot. That's that. Frank's sleeping on the couch, just dreaming about how much fun he's gonna have when we're in Toronto. He's going to Tom Tom's to play with Tom Tom. Chris and Shannon are looking after him. And I've been watching the show, just finished it on Netflix called Beef, and it's so good. And it's got Nurse Ogawa in it, and it's got the dude from Star Trek Picard who played the ensign that was Bajoran. His name's Joseph Lee. It's got Ali Wong. It's got Glenn from The Walking Dead, who I love. He's so cute. I think you might like the show.
Yeah,
I need
I
something
have
new
it.
to watch now.
I'm telling you, man, Preacher. I think you
Yeah,
would
you were
really
saying
like it.
Preacher.
I
I've
think
seen
you
the
would
first few
really like it.
episodes. Yeah, when it first came out, which was like maybe 7 years ago or something. Like it was a
Yeah,
while
a really
ago.
long
But
time ago.
yeah, we're just about to finish up our rewatch of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh,
Um, we've been watching the
where
Fast and Furious movies. We have one left. Brad fell asleep in Fast Nine, and I'm like, dude, they go to freaking space. They had the car in space. It's like they get more ridiculous.
are you
They're
making this
fun
up?
movies. No, we were like, let's watch all the Fast and Furious movies.
No, no, no. Like there's 9 movies and one, and they go to space.
Yeah, like technically, yeah, they kind of like they had to like save a rocket because the bad guys got the codes for the rocket and the car's attached to the rocket and I don't know. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's fantastic. It's got Dame Helen Mirren is in these movies. Kurt Russell is in these movies. Now
Really?
Jason Momoa is in the newest one apparently. They get progressively more ridiculous but kind of fun. The
Do
Rock,
you know,
Statham.
do you know what Vin Diesel's real name is?
Yeah, it's like Bob or something.
It's Mark.
Okay.
Mark Sinclair.
I love it.
Kind of sounds like a porn name.
It kind of does. Hmm. I
Hmm.
wonder if he's done any porn.
I'm not going to look that up
Nope,
on my work
not right now.
laptop,
No,
but I
bad
can
idea.
incognito it later on my phone. I don't even
Perfect.
trust my phone.
Don't even trust your phone. Oh my God. Let's do a shout out to fansets and then let's
Yes,
talk about that awesome Parallels episode we watched.
it was
It's
so
a
good.
war centric. It's
Spoiler,
so good.
it was the
I can't wait for you to read the synopsis that I fucked up, and I want you to add to it even. Make it your
oh,
own. Make it splashy. Keep the symbol
make it
splashy.
flashy. You're very focused on percussion.
It's just because I watched that little clip from Whiplash. I feel like I need to watch that movie again. Maybe I'll download it for my flight.
You should.
I
And
should.
download go get your lower deck thingies. You should watch those to
I
catch
should
up.
watch Lower Deck to catch up on Lower Decks. Yes. And I downloaded the movie to watch because I'd never seen it before. And I'm like, it looks like an exciting film. It's got the girl from Divergent, Shailene Woodley. It's called Adrift. It's based on a true story of some people who are on a sailing accident and they're left out in the middle of the ocean. So I think I'll watch that because I recently watched a movie that was based on a true story of the young girl from Australia who was the first to sail around the world solo at such
She
a
was
young
like
age.
16 or something, right?
Great,
Or
great movie. Great movie. Highly
for
recommend.
real? Okay.
It was
And
cute.
I
It was good.
yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
I can't
We're
remember what it's
watching
called, but
regular sailing. Like there's America's Cup is trying to start.
oh,
I don't know.
mm.
I
So
watch sailing now. Okay.
whatever. I watched tennis and Formula One, so there you
This
go.
is us. This is us. I
This
don't
is
watch
us.
that.
No, well, you should.
I
It's
do
fun.
like Mandy Moore.
Segue. And you know what else Mandy Moore loves? Fansets. Uh, we'd like to take a minute to thank our friends at Fansets. They're always working away like busy bees to put out the best Star Trek pins you could ever ask for. And for being with us today, you know the drill. Go there, shop, pick out all the pins you want. They have fantastic ones. You're going to love them. There's characters from Star Trek, obviously. Just put Trek Geeks caps locks, one word, in the code spot box, and you get 10% off. It's amazing.
It's
Thank you
easy.
so much.
So easy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fansets, for continuing to be such a tremendous support. We love you and keep on making your fabulous pins.
Yep.
Fansets. Our pins have character. I wonder if they have a Mandy Moore one.
We should take a look. They have a whole collection of pins from the movie where she's dying.
And there's that song Only Hope. Oh,
A Walk to
anyway,
Remember.
A Walk to Remember.
Oh man, classic. All right, synopsis.
Synopsis.
I wrote it.
So
I wrote it badly. You get to read the first half.
here we go. All right, it's time for a review of that season 12 epic Parallelogram, starring Michael Dorn as Mr. Wolf.
It's funnier the second time around.
It is. Boom. It starts off strong. Worf is looking fabulous in his mustard uniform, slick smart ponytail, and bachelorette party sash. Woo! He is returning to the Enterprise from a batlift tournament. It was difficult, but he victorious and won champion standing. Impressive. Most impressive. But you are not a Jedi yet. Now Worf is stressed out about a birthday party, possibly being thrown for him by Riker, that rascal. Just kidding.
I'm literally gonna pee myself.
Oh, I see a tear. That's another thing. We never call each other on the phone, and we never cry.
And we never
tears.
will.
We never will.
I'm never fucking calling you.
Don't you ever call me.
Writing.
I hate surprise
the perfect
parties.
sentence.
It is. Riker is a complete sentence. I hate surprise parties. I would never do that. Psych, I love them. On a side note, it concerns me how easily people can enter and exit personal quarters without permission. Riker just left and then let himself back in. Not okay. Like, that is concerning. Also, the caretaker for my building did that.
Oh,
yeah.
red flag.
Yeah.
Not okay.
Not allowed.
No.
I didn't know he had a key. I stopped watching as I not only drool over the cake because I love chocolate and cake. I'm liking chocolate more these days, but I can't really taste it, as I said. But I stopped watching and I remade the cake. It took 4 hours and it still fell. I don't know if cakes fall. Soufflés do. Data gifts him a beautiful painting. Troy helps herself and puts it up. Just wacky fun everywhere. But the fun ends when we realize the cake isn't chocolate. That's odd. And now the captain is here? I thought he couldn't make it. Something's amiss. Worf wants to dump his son onto Troy even more than he is already because she had to look after him or some shit.
Multiple times. He's always he's always abandoning him.
Also, like, isn't there a different guardian on board for the I don't know.
It's the daycare?
The daycare, but he's like kind of too old for daycare, especially in season 12.
Well, he was at school or something, or daycare or something when the Rascals episode.
That's true. Also, I just realized there's only 7 seasons, not 12 seasons of Star Trek. TNG. I was getting it confused with episode 11 of season 7. It doesn't matter. Troy's honored that Worf wants to dump his son onto her even more than he already is. And this beautiful moment is then interrupted again by some oddness. Worf remembers shit that didn't happen. Dennis
He's remembering.
Asshole, why Charlie hate? Have you seen that one yet?
No.
Oh God, Charlie McDennis, The Game of Games. You're gonna lose it. You're gonna pee your pants. Don't drink a lot before. Cardassians, arrays, apostrophe S, mechanical failures. How he placed 9th in his tournament. Head rushes come fast and furious with each one. Things change. He goes from his room to the bridge and it makes him look a fool. Sara takes over here.
I'm never gonna write a synopsis for you to read again.
You don't hear me complaining. Mean? I didn't mean that in a mean way. Oh no.
Am I frozen or am I not frozen? All right, now he's in a universe version where Troy drinks hot chocolate in his bed and he is like confused, but it's cute and he knows, he kind of wants in on it. And then, he kind of goes, "What, wife?" Because she's like his wife all of a sudden, and
Yeah.
he likes to use the term mates instead, which it's kind of gross. And then he was like talking about he asked Riker's permission to like date according to Data, and then all about like when they made it, and it's just so awkwardly done and
Yeah.
cringy but funny because it's funny.
Yeah.
Data tries to help Worf figure out his quantum leaping, and they realize that Geordi could be involved in all of this, but he's dead. I don't like that timeline. No. And then all of a sudden, we see LeVar is just like spread out, like pretty naked. Like you don't really get the shirtless medical stuff very often. It's nice. And the visor was causing some stuff, and now Worf is decked out in red, and he's still married to Troy. And now Nurse Ogawa is Dr. Ogawa. Good for her. That's nice.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but Data realizes Worf doesn't belong in this universe. It's quantum. And that's the end of the sentence. And then we see, whoa, 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 what? Wesley in gold. Because you love gold, Haley. He's your number one. Um,
I love
so
gold.
yeah, there's quantum leaping, quantum jumping, quantum shifting. It's all happening, and it makes me want to have this ability to jump to different realities and different
Like a
versions of my
show about
life.
it. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it was a movie. It won an Oscar. It was called Everything Everywhere All at Once. Um, Bajorans are bad guys, apparently, in one world, and in another one, Worf never had Alexander. I bet he wishes that was a part of his timeline right now.
Damn.
Oh, and then another dream comes true. All the ships and realities are appearing, and that means you don't just have one Riker standing in front of you. How many do you have, Haley? Dozens.
You have not one, not two, not three, not
Not
four,
four,
not
not
five,
five.
not six.
Infinite. Infinite Rikers.
There were so many. I was surprised that they weren't jumping into each other's space, but whatever.
Yeah, right? There could have been some serious, like,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
can
like
let
when they
that
talk
go.
about
That's
how they made
fine.
that ship disappear during World War II or whatever, the Philadelphia Experimental Project or whatever. Anyway, um, I like the moment where like Riker was like, "It's nice to see you, Captain Picard," because in one reality version he had died from the Borg debacle, and it was Riker as captain on the ship. And then Worf
Yeah.
kisses Troy, and a little light bulb went on where he's kind of like, "I think I like this, and I think I'm going to bring this back to my current reality." Insert creepy voice here. Um, and
It's
there's
like a
also a really
spot
scary.
on war.
Thank you. I was like Worf if he was like a little bit more like Quagmire.
Yeah.
Um, Giggity goo. Uh, and there was a really sad version of reality where Riker and Worf were like all like beat to shit, and they were begging them not to undo the problems because in their universe everyone's pretty much dead and they're barely surviving because of the Borg. And that would have been a really
Mm.
good side like series, like right there. Boom, we're coming up with a new show. It's called the really crappy Enterprise version, where shit's hit the fan. But no, they don't get to survive and try and live a better life. They had to kill them so that they could get Worf back to his proper universe. And then we see a shuttle full of Worfs, great name for a band. And he wakes up on the shuttle and is returning to the ship, the winner, champion in the standing of the tournament, as he is supposed to be. He makes it back. Everything seems to be normal. There's no surprise party because why? Troy. Troy's like, no, I know you. I know you would have hated that. So I told him no. And so because of that, he's like, swing, why don't you stay for dinner, babe? And then he orders up some champagne and she's all like, oh, champagne. Bitch.
Jealous.
I know. I want champagne with Worf.
I know.
Blood wine.
Also, like, it wouldn't be real champagne though, because there's just alcohol or something.
What's that all about? And do you think
I
he
don't
would
know.
even really drink champagne? Like, did he order it because that's what she would want? He's already bending for whatever she wants. Come on.
I know. Ugh. She gets everything she wants already.
The worst.
I know. This Zoom meeting has 5 minutes left. Do you want to
Amazing.
stop and then call me back and then continue?
Yes.
We just say no. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Episode's over.
Okay, till next time.
Bye. Okay, bye.
Goodbye. Woo,
I didn't forget.
you did it.
Oh, man. Every
What an
time
episode.
what an episode. Every time I see when it says like admit, and I always think of Little Mermaid. I admit that in the past.
Oh,
You know
that's
the
fun.
rest.
Yeah, I do. Have you
All
seen the
right.
new one?
No, I have not. Have you?
No, not yet. It's on Disney Plus though.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I don't think I'll watch it.
I don't care to watch it. I
I'm
really
not big
like.
on remakes of Disney classics.
No, me neither. And I really just like. Maybe it would be different if it was. No, I can't think of if it was animated or not. I don't think it would make a difference to me. I don't
No,
like the
because they
remake.
did other animated versions.
They
They did
did.
like a
That's right.
follow up. I never
Oh my
watched them.
God, I did. I watched the second one. It's not great.
No.
Her and Eric just go to marriage counseling. Anyway.
Oh my God. All right. Tell me everything you thought about this episode. I'd love to hear it from you. The
Okay,
listeners would
so
love to hear it more.
oh, I'm sure. Hi, Evan. Um, I loved this episode so much. Like, this is one of my favorites. Um, I love how we get to see a different timeline where Worf and Troy end up together with two probably really difficult children. Or another timeline where the Borg won. Like,
Oh, love that.
wow.
Yeah.
Um, I loved it. Here are some quotes and notes for me. I wrote down notes as I was watching. Psych, I love surprise parties. I mean, that's just like,
Classic Riker.
I love how he was like, Mr. Worf, I hate surprise parties. Like, no one well, I don't really like them, but anyway. Um, okay, so when Worf spaces out, oh my God, spaces, right? Like a pun.
Perfect.
Anyway, he comes onto the bridge and it's red alert, and Riker and Picard are like, hello, Worf, raise the shield. But I was like, wouldn't the computer raise the shields automatically during red alert? I had to know. So I got out my technical manual,
As
right?
you do.
And it said that during red alert, the deflector shields, quote, go to defensive configuration, unquote, but it doesn't say automatically. So it's possible that they had already commanded Worf to raise the shields. It's possible that Worf's job would have been to raise the shields during an alert of that magnitude, and or a little of column A, a little of column B, or all of column A and all of column B. Anyway, by the time I finished that nonsense, I missed a lot of the show. The next note I had when Data was trying to help Worf identify common people in the space out, haha, and asked about who was at his party, and Worf goes, well, everyone was at my birthday party. Like, I'm so popular. Like, everyone was at my party.
I
What's
know.
up?
The
Okay,
party he didn't even want.
I know. And then I write, I have to admit something that's probably illegal, and this is probably going to compromise my jury duty selection, but I struggled because Wesley looked like such a fox. Okay, I have to Google how old he was for my own well-being. Oh, thank God he was 21. Okay, and then I say, he looks straight up hot. I was just staring at him. Oh, sorry, John. Uh, and also, I love that there's a universe is because Star Trek is real, where people fucking value Wesley Crusher. Crusher, I hardly knew her. Anyway, so the ships are all popping up, right? And John immediately is like, okay, now you have to go find the other version of yourself and kiss yourself. And I was like, what? Like, this is such an odd thing to me. And it's not the first time I've heard this. Like, I must really not be my own type or something. Like, I feel like I'm in the minority here where I would not do this. I'm not interested in if I had a twin from another universe. I'm not interested. Is that something you've heard of or would do?
I hate myself so much. Why the fuck would I want to see another one of me?
This is, yeah, is it like extreme self-hatred? I'm
It's
not sure.
it's like Seinfeld dating Janine Garofalo
Yeah.
on the show, and he's like, I don't like myself. I'm a not. I'm yeah. I'm not attracted to. I'm not attractive.
No,
I'm not well spoken.
I'm,
I can't write.
I like,
Apparently.
I'm annoyed by myself just being myself. I can't
Yeah.
imagine having to deal to. Anyway, okay.
Oof.
Also, I had some thoughts. What would you do if you were in Captain Riker's position, only it was you and you were seeing you? Not like what would you do if you were Riker, but like what would Jesus do? But like what would you do if your universe self was in that Borg universe? So like say the Borg of one, you're on that ship. Um And too, if somehow you want to be in that terrible position, like what would you do in an alternative universe sort of shit show situation where you have to like, I don't know, like watch the whole movie Phenomenon starring John Travolta, like just once, but still, like what would you do? Would you kill yourself? Would you ask to be killed? Because I just thought like with Riker and Worf being so like they just looked like he needed a haircut, a little beard trim. It just looked like things were pretty dire there, and I was like, one, like I'm not like a, don't kill yourself when things are tough, but like, oof, it doesn't look very good. And then two, like, right, Captain Riker, imagine seeing yourself and being like, ew. I mean, at least that's not me, but it is kind of me.
Yeah.
What would you do?
If I was the version of the Riker that was having a bad day, bad year, I would probably try to find a way to get myself and Worf beamed over to one of the other ships to be like, "You're stuck with me now."
Sure.
But I mean, the theory of relativity and the theory of quantum existences and universes is like there's a lot of spiritual theory behind it. It's that when we choose to live a human life, it's because we want to experience every type of emotion. And if you can't do it all in one life, you have these parallel lives that are having those experiences, and then you come together when you die and you get to kind of have that collective knowledge. So it's like, yeah, yeah, it's a pretty shitty
It's
situation,
all
but
part
I
of it.
imagine what a different person you would be because of it.
I guess for me, it just felt very like
It was very
end of
depressing.
days. Yeah,
You're going back knowing you're going to die. So the choice is, do you go back with your head held high or do you not?
true. And, I stand by what Captain Riker did,
He
and
had to.
he
Yeah.
had to. But at the same time, I was like watching the show. I'm like, he's like, everyone's being very professional about like seeing another version of themselves and not
Yeah.
freaking out about it.
Yeah.
Like, what the
Everyone's like,
hell?
oh, yeah, just another
They're
day
like,
at the
hey, hey,
office. Must
does
be
your
Monday.
arm also hurt when you do that?
Yeah.
Um, and then my final note is a completely unrelated question or comment. Hey, what if someone was learning English and they wanted to say, let's go to the pub, only they said, let's go to the pube because the English language sucks? Because, like, you don't know how to pronounce it.
It's true.
What kind of U sound is it? Pub or pube?
Well, there's no E
Anyway,
on, yeah.
but does there need to be?
No, I guess not. Ooh, deep thoughts.
Yeah, Jack Handy. Okay.
Jack Handy. Um, as somebody who's enjoying rewatching random episodes and looking at it with a different lens, or maybe I'm just looking at it as an adult and not, your sense of humor changes. Jordy is hilarious. Like he is the funniest character. He's got the best one-liners throughout the series. Like when the painting, that terrible painting that Data did, and he's like, "That's the Battle of Haros, right?" Like he's such a smart ass. Like he's so
Yeah.
funny. I love that. Um, and yeah, the whole quantum reality thing, I just love that idea. Like that's why I really like that movie. Everything Everywhere All at Once. And it was, yeah, gut wrenching about like that version of like, oh, they're not doing too good. I gotta send myself back to die. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
But it makes me think of like what is an example of a significant event that's happened in my life where it's like that sliding doors moment of like what two different ways could have gone. What if I never ran into you at the Walmart parking lot and you said I went back to La Senza and then I go, I should too? We would never have seen each other again, likely, and not become best friends forever. We'd have
True.
not gone to STLV, so maybe I never would have in general. This podcast would not
Possibly.
exist. I would never have gotten a job in government necessarily.
True.
And your brother and
Possibly.
I would never have had that secret Black Ops assassination job for that 1 week we never told you about in Guam.
Oh,
Like, huge. So many things. Sorry, I had to tell her about that, Ev. But
that's it.
man,
It
we saw some
happens.
shit. I mean, sometimes you need to, but yeah,
Good
like
point.
I imagine
So
if we never ran into each other, that random kismet fate moment where I
it
hadn't
was
seen you in months because we didn't work together anymore, and you're like, I
nothing.
went back, and then I was like, I should too, and then I go back to work at La Senza. We work together. You talk Alan Rickman, I talk Star Trek, and now here we are, like 25
Oh,
years later.
also like, I don't know, there must have been something in the air because I remember you coming back. So like, this is back when we were both at Lucenza again. And like, you came back from Vegas because you had been with your dad and you were
Yeah.
like, oh, we purchased like tickets to go to the convention in August. And it was like April or something. And you're like, buy one and we should all go. And I was like, yeah, for sure. But like, for those who know me, like I'm a giant flake and I would just make plans but never do those plans. But like for some reason I really wanted to do those plans with you and we had like the best time. And now look at us now, all those years later,
I know.
calculating. I can't. There's so many.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so
Thanks,
many different things
Walmart.
that have happened in my life that I wonder like how would I be different? Like what if I had never met Brad? You
Yeah.
know, like where would I be living right now? What would I be doing for work? What kind of travel experiences would I have had? What kind of relationships would I have had? Um, I wouldn't have Frank in my life.
Oh.
Things would smell better, but not be as fun. Yeah, it's just so many. Or like, what if that time that I was driving down the street and the car crashed behind me and I didn't get hit? Like when I rode that horse in high school and I got thrown off it and fell on my face. What if I broke my fucking neck? Like
Yes,
so many
totally. There's
moments that
so
happen. You're just
many.
like, but that's an offshoot. Those are universes that are happening right now. So if I suddenly was faced with like 40 different versions of me, there could be me standing there with three kids that are all snot-nosed nightmares. There could be me with like a Olympic gold medal around my neck. There could be me, the flautist that wrote the symphony for Star Trek show that doesn't even exist in this world. Like, holy crap.
Yes.
There could be
Yeah.
me who's the premier. There's me in
Well,
jail.
oh,
There's
you're
me with
on
hot dog
trial.
fingers. Yeah.
Oh, it's very interesting to think of, and I love the idea that that Walmart parking lot, just like random being in a Walmart parking lot, like, oh hey, what's up? I went
Hmm.
back. And obviously things at the Bay lingerie section were not going very well for me that I had to go back to Licenza, a full
Hmm.
time retail lingerie experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's wild.
interesting.
It is
Yeah.
interesting. Um, Following up from that, I have I think a couple of questions maybe, or let me see what else I have because I closed that page for some stupid reason because
There's trivia and goose,
yes.
and it's a space for would you rather, but there's no would you rather that you've written, and I'm not good at improv, so let's just either save it for next time or don't do it.
Oh, I
Uh,
could probably come up with something.
but no,
Um,
the idea is I'm not good at answering them.
okay. Why don't you start us off with the first little bit here? We don't have too much to go through.
Okay, number one. The cast were supposed to sing happy birthday to Worf in Klingonese. I don't think that's
This is all
mm,
copied and pasted from Internet Movie Database, so don't
okay.
shoot the
Well,
messenger.
okay, but the producers couldn't afford the asking price by the song's copyright holders. It was just too high. They felt it wasn't worth it, so they substituted for "He's a Jolly Good Fellow" instead. Apparently, it was a lot cheaper.
Okay. Although he doesn't say his age, according to the Star Trek fact files, Worf's turning 30 in this episode. He's just a baby.
Okay, but
30?
when you watched this, did he
Damn.
seem like he was like 50 though?
I would
Because
say 50. I mean, when I was a kid, like anybody who wasn't a kid, I thought they were 50.
yeah, that's how I
So
feel.
I still at 43, I'm just like, holy shit. Like you're fucking dead. You're old. But I'm not. I'm still
No.
here. I'm living. I feel young. I feel great. But yeah, I would look like if I was a young kid, what like if I think back to when I was a kid and I was watching Wharf, I would have been like, oh, he's like my parents' age. Like, so that
Yeah,
would in
like
my
an
brain be
adult,
like
which is
40 to 50. But like looking at him now as an adult and like really looking like at, I mean, there's makeup on his face and all that kind of shit. But like I could buy like 35. You know,
I don't know.
he's
I think there's something
a hot
broken in my
dad.
brain.
He's got a kid.
Yeah, like I wouldn't feel like I'm older than him right now. Like if he, I don't know,
Yeah, well,
maybe.
it's like watching season 3 of Picard. Spoiler alert! That you know when the Borg thing goes through all of their genes, and anybody who's under the age of 25 was
Mm,
automatically assimilated. I was like, the whole freaking crew on the bridge, except for the old farts, were under 25, like all the Bajorian guy that was on that show I was talking about, Sydney
Yep.
LaForge, all the other
Yeah.
ensigns were lined up, and I'm like, damn, like you got the entire
Young.
ensign crew up there, Shaw. Like you like to surround yourself by young people, huh?
Yeah.
You scoundrel rascal, keeping all the young hip people around you to bark orders at, or I don't know. But
Yeah,
just
it's
yeah, it
interesting.
surprised me.
Yeah, yeah. I was also surprised
I'm
by
a
that.
bad guess of age.
Oh, I'm terrible at it. Like, yeah, anytime John's like, "How old do you think that person is?" Because we like to like play that game sometimes, and we ask Google. Um, but I'm like, I don't know, either 72 or 27, like one of them.
Yeah.
They're all the same. Um, this is the first time that Worf is seen in a red or ketchup uniform since season one. He would wear it permanently in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Is that because he is the commander in DS9 or
I don't remember. I don't know. Commander Worf? Yeah.
yeah.
The color thing seems to kind of float around.
It fluctuates a bit because there's the whole red shirt thing for one,
Well,
but then
yeah.
the first officer and the captain wear red, so
Blue
they're
has
not
been
that
significantly
expendable.
science, though. Science and medical
Oh
has
yeah,
been
for
blue
sure.
because Spock was blue and
Well, and
Dax.
engineering is yellow, but also security. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, because Tasha Yar wore gold
yeah,
and Data's worn gold.
but he's
Geordi's
also
worn
worn
gold.
red.
Yeah. Kirk wore gold. Captain
Yes, he
Kirk.
did.
And he
That's
wore that
true.
nice green color, that
That's right.
sage. The communicator badges used for the reality where Riker is captain and Worf is first officer are the same badges that were used for the future scenes in Future Imperfect. Good throwback.
That's cool. Also, did you notice the scene where Data had blue eyes?
No.
It was when Worf was asking him about either how he and Deanna got together or
Oh,
about trying to figure out the common theme in his space
yeah.
out.
Oh, Brent forgot to put in his eyeballs.
Yeah, well, I thought maybe it was just a different like timeline or something
Oh,
because
that maybe he, yeah.
they were very strikingly blue, and I was like, "This is," but no one mentioned it, and I was like,
Hmm,
Anyway, did
good
you
catch.
know that in the final scene of this episode, Troy gives Worf a birthday gift, and as they toss the bow on the top of the gift, switches sides.
Oh,
Fucking figure it
ghost,
out.
ghost bow.
Go tune in next week for Ghost
Ooh,
Bow.
spooky bow. When the Borg fighter Enterprise explodes, there's no debris.
I saw that too as well. That's um it can't all be accurate.
Yeah. I have a really easy would you rather.
Let's all right.
Would you rather get a glimpse of all the alternate realities of Haley or no?
No.
I'd probably be like, I want to see the ones that are really bad so I feel good about myself, but I don't want to see the realities where I'm doing significantly better and I'm thinner.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want
I'm
to see
jealous of myself.
I wouldn't want to see myself doing poorly in any way. And I wouldn't, yeah, agreed. Like, I wouldn't want to see myself doing so great that I hate my life now.
Yeah.
So generally, no.
So fucked up. I'm
And I
so
don't
fucked up.
really, yeah, and I don't really do a lot of thinking about like the what ifs. Like, it's not, I already know that there's string theory and shit and all the things are happening. So it doesn't matter. This is the one that
Yeah.
paying
What if I
attention
came
to.
across a version where I look like this? I have a mustache.
It's a pretty great mustache.
Thanks. Um, Anything else that you want to talk about with this episode? Anything else standing out? Anything else that just makes you want to go, huh?
Nah, I just really liked it, but it also reminded me to ask you, like, did I can't remember, did Troy and Worf get together? They did, didn't they? Like
Yeah.
really briefly?
Yeah, because in that episode, the scary one, he bites her because it's his mate.
That's right. And then also, like, we don't have to talk about it, but like I'm pretty sure that he loves her in real life.
Oh, I think they love each other a lot in real
Oh
life.
yeah, well for sure. But like I think he like likes her. But
Like
anyway.
likes. Like. Do you like me or like me? I know. Ugh.
I guess that's it. It feels like we've recorded this 1.5 times.
We have. We've been doing this for 4 hours. What are we going to watch next?
The next one that we're going to watch is called Family.
That was your choice. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's coming up around Halloweeny time, so we'll be talking a little spooky, scary stuff, and also a little interesting trivia and information about some of the horror roles that some of the TNG cast have had
Horror.
in their movie careers.
I love it. We're gonna
Horror.
record that right around Halloween time. What are you gonna do for Halloween this year? Do you have any plans? Do you have any desires, dreams? Tell me.
The only dream, we have no plans right now, but like we've been wanting to dress up as Naja and Laszlo from What We Do in the Shadows, and I think it would be so funny. But
Yeah.
there's also like, it's going to be cold and flu season. I already got sick. I don't want to be around a big crowd, so I don't know that there's going to be like any parties, but yeah, I don't know. Like no big anything. We don't have a house, so it's not like kids come to the door or anything for Halloween. What about you?
I have no idea. I don't know if we'll be here or not. I
Yeah.
know there's talk about going to SEMA last minute.
Oh yeah.
Um, I don't know. One of our good friends from LA who is a pinstriper who was always at SEMA, he passed away yesterday.
Oh,
So
sorry.
we're
Oh,
curious to see if they're going to do like something special for him. That would be like more of a drive to go, like to kind
yeah.
of pay tribute to Tom. Um, but yeah, so if we're in town, probably won't do anything. I mean, the neighborhood usually like gets together and just gives out candy at one table so the kids don't have to go door to door to door. Keep Frank from getting scared if there's
Yeah.
fireworks. I'm gonna decorate the
Yeah.
house. I'm decorating the minute I get back from Toronto
Awesome.
because I love to decorate for
Well, you do
Halloween.
such a good job. You do such a good job. Like, yeah.
It'll be fun.
Right.
All right, that's it. That's all.
Cool.
This is
That's the
it.
end.
This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 8. Um, like the song. Thanks for listening, folks. We had so much fun doing this over and over and over, different versions of it. It's like we had our own quantum leap recording session. We hope you love it. Tune in next time when we break down that post-Locutus nightmare episode, Family. Until then, you can support us and other shows on the network, including my new, soon-to-be-released TOS show, Deflowered, by subscribing to Trek Geeks on patreon.com or follow Trek Geeks on X for more details, etc., etc. Thank you to 5-Year Mission. Thanks to the network, the listeners. Thanks to Gene and Star Trek. Thanks to Haley. Thanks to all our listeners, like Evan and Heather. Seriously. And as I like to say, thank you for being a friend.
To infinity.
And apparently, beyond. Bye. Yeah. Coconut.